So this is the last lecture, and it's really not much of a lecture. It's just me saying goodbye to you. And if this is the last lecture, then you know it's the end. And the end brings, yes, my favorite student evaluation time. For those of you who've had me in other courses, you know I just don't like this process. Uh, the thing is, who fills these things out? Typically, it's the students who are most passionate about the course and would like to say something nice about the professor, and then the people who are really angry. So you tend to get this split and divide. Uh, uh, so this is the last lecture and last video. So what does that mean? Yes, it's the end. And what does the end mean? Yes, my all-time favorite. Student evaluation time. The thing is, well, there is a marketing lesson in this. Who do you think fills these things out? It's typically the students who are most passionate, those who want to say something nice, and those who want to get even. Um, for those of you who have me in other classes, you know I don't like particularly like this process, but it is what it is. And so, but the thing about this process is they actually do read them. We actually do read them. Yes, every last word. Uh, and actually, the administration reads them. Now, in terms of a tenure professor, nah, it doesn't make a dent in them. But for us lecturers or year to year, it actually has a very big effect. So they do count and they do matter, and they read through them all. So that's why it's important for you to fill it out. But if you don't, you don't, and if you do, you do. It's actually pretty funny. One class I actually got a rating of a perfect 5. Why? Because only one student filled it out. Out of 15 students, one student bothered to fill it out, which I think kind of goes into the issue of sample size. But anyway, the dean asked us to do this sort of thing to kind of egg you on. Um, so anyway, that's the address. Uh, the one thing reason why I came to the Poly School is because students like the Poly School. I've probably interviewed over 50 ASU students. 10 of them came from the Poly School, and unanimously they liked their education. On the other hand, the students from Tempe, I said, so what do you think about ASU? And they would say, it's cheap, it's local, it's the only school I got into. And it's like, well, gee, that's not exactly a ringing endorsement. But the thing I never liked about MIT is that you can never talk to anybody there. I mean, good luck trying to see a professor because there's this army of grad students in front of him that prevents you from actually seeing them. So I like being able to sit down and teach students. And so our relationship doesn't have to end here. If you want to come talk to me in the future, lots of students have long after they've been my students, still send me emails and ask me for things. I can proudly say that I've written 8 letters of recommendation for graduate school and all 8 have gotten in. I have, I actually enjoyed my relationship post-class. Um, as a matter of fact, tomorrow night I have a student alumni coming over to dinner. Yeah, I'm going to make my Korean bulgogi. uh, but anyway, if you ever need me for anything, feel free to contact me. I went to this conference, and it's really interesting because you had all these entrepreneurship professors, and I asked a simple question: what is your vision? What is your mission for being a teacher? And they said, well, I want to teach them about finance or about marketing or something like that. Now that's fine for a training class because training classes are about skills. But in order to be a professor, you need to have a vision. It's like, what do you want for your students? And my wife put it best. We're here to give an education. If you're there to give an education, you're not teaching a course, you're teaching students. And unfortunately, this is very difficult to do in an online class because it's only 6.5 weeks and it's during the summer. You're all busy. A lot of you are working full time. But what it comes down to is finding your voice, finding out who you are and what it is that you want, helping you realize what your dreams are, and then finally owning your future because you can't count on a corporation to take care of you. And so for Dr. Cho, it's my grandchildren. That's my great joy in life. And these are the things that make me happy. And actually, teaching all of you makes me happy. Um, this is the first job in my entire life. We're talking about 28 years in industry. That I wouldn't quit my job if I won the Mega Millions tomorrow. My other jobs? But this job, no, I enjoy it. I'd be back tomorrow. And so the last piece of advice I'll give you is a piece of advice my father gave to me. My father, who survived the Japanese occupation, World War II, and then the Korean War, came here with absolutely nothing and ended up being a research fellow of DuPont, which is basically the highest ranking level you can get on the technology track. And the thing he told me is they can take your home, you can lose your family. Nothing in life is permanent, but the one thing that belongs to you is your education. What you choose to do with it, what you choose to make of yourself, that belongs to you. So good luck to you, and if I can ever be any type of service to you or any kind of help, please feel free to contact me.